Hello everyone, and welcome to my SW Update 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Christine Brown speaks out about her contact with Robyn and Meri. Christine Brown was the first of Cody's wives to leave the family. Since then, she's maintained close contact with Janelle Brown. However, how much interaction does she have with the other cast members of Sister Wives? See what Christine and Janelle had to say about their cast members in a new interview. Christine Brown describes her current relationship with Meri and Robyn. Despite starring on the same reality show, Christine admits she doesn't have any kind of relationship with Meri or Robyn Brown these days. Her children are free to visit with the other wives as they wish, but Christine has ended that chapter of her life. I haven't talked to Meri or Robyn for years, and it's funny, Christine told the host of the Rogue Energy podcast. We'll just keep it like that. I don't need to develop a relationship with them. Naturally, she invited Janelle Brown, her children, and Meri's son Leon, to her wedding. However, Christine acknowledged that asking Meri or Robyn to attend would have been extremely awkward. A great thing about being older when you get married is that you really only have to invite the people that you really want there, the mother of six continued. There's no obligatory invitations that go out to some Uncle Bob or Uncle Jed, but you're like, I really don't want him there. He's gonna blah, blah, blah. He always does this blah, blah, blah. We didn't have to. Janelle longs to be free of Cody and Robyn as well. As for Janelle, she doesn't have much interest in being friends with the cast members aside from Christine. However, they must keep in touch due to the ongoing situation at Coyote Pass. As soon as everyone hammers out an agreement, Janelle admits she'll probably cut contact too. I've had some interactions with Meri, and I think she's been really happy, Janelle shared in the podcast interview. She's been living her own life. Do you know what I mean? So we've been working cohesively to sort of get this property situation settled, which has been nice. I've not had any interaction with Robyn. I haven't looked for her. I don't really overlap her in any part of my life. It's not part of the family requirement, Janelle continued. Relationships with these people are not particularly beneficial. We're so different. I still have a great relationship with Meri's child. I really do hope someday that there will be some reconciliation between our little pod. You know what I mean? And Robyn's kids. But I don't know. In a revelatory moment that has resonated deeply with fans and critics alike, Cody Brown, the longtime patriarch of the Brown family on Sister Wives, has opened up about how he desperately misses the adoration his children once showered on him, a type of unconditional admiration that, in his eyes, defined his role as the leader and emotional anchor of the family, rather than the more nuanced, multifaceted love they now seem to reserve for their mothers and other family members. Cody's relationship with his children has become increasingly complex and, in many ways, detached from the pure, almost reverent affection he remembers from earlier times as the family evolved through separations, divorces, and shifting alliances among his wives over the years. In several confessional segments and in candid interviews captured on TLC, Cody has lamented that what he now experiences is not the adoration of a father who is looked up to, celebrated, and idolized, but rather a lukewarm familial connection in which the children seem to view him as just another adult among many in a sprawling household, a sentiment that has left him feeling both isolated and unappreciated. He reminisces about a time when his children would cling to every word he said and eagerly sought his direction and approval, thereby bolstering his sense of purpose and authority in the family. That time, he believes, was characterized by an almost mythic quality, a period when his presence ignited admiration and a deep, almost ritualistic devotion that affirmed his identity as the family's leader. Cody admits that he misses that distinct, unreserved adoration now, though the dynamics have changed and the other parents are increasingly disputing his role. He is quick to point out that he is not merely interested in any form of affection, rather, he craves a type of respect and reverence that, in his view, validates his decades-long efforts to steer the family through the tumultuous waters of plural marriage, financial upheaval, and public scandal. In his own words, Cody has expressed that what he longs for is not simply the general love that children naturally feel for their parents, a love that might be shared equally among all family members, but a focused, unequivocal adoration that places him at the very center of their emotional universe. This desire, as he articulates it, is rooted in both personal ambition and a deep-seated need for recognition, one that he believes has been eroded over time by the relentless pressures of managing a family that has grown not only in size but also in complexity. Critics have observed that Cody's yearning for his children's adoration is symptomatic of an underlying insecurity, a vulnerability that seems at odds with the public image he has long tried to cultivate as the steadfast, authoritative figure in the Brown household. As his children have matured and forged their own identities, often aligning more closely with the maternal figures in their lives, the gap between the adulation he once enjoyed and the more measured, sometimes indifferent affection he now receives has widened, leaving him feeling marginalized and, in many respects, betrayed by the very institution of family that he once held sacred. This transformation is not lost on the fans of Sister Wives, many of whom have taken to social media and online forums to debate whether Cody's comments reveal a genuine personal crisis or are simply a calculated attempt to reclaim lost authority in a family that has long been fractured by internal strife and public scandal. Some supporters argue that his desire for the kind of adoration he reminisces about is a natural part of the aging process, a longing for the days when his role was unchallenged and his guidance was the unquestioned foundation upon which the family was built, while others criticize him for what they see as narcissistic tendencies that neglect the evolving needs and autonomy of his children. In one particularly telling moment on camera, Cody contrasted his current experience with memories of his earlier days, recalling how his children used to look at him with wide-eyed admiration, hanging on to every word as if he were a hero out of a storybook, and how that unmistakable spark of reverence now seems to have dimmed, replaced by a more complex, conflicted emotional landscape in which the children's affections are divided among multiple parental figures. He attributes this change partly to the growing influence of his ex-wives and the shifting dynamics of the family, factors that, in his view, have diluted the singular focus that once defined his role. The conversation, as recorded in several recent episodes, reveals a man caught between the desire to be the center of his children's universe and the reality that modern family structures, especially those as intricate as his own, do not lend themselves to such unilateral devotion. Cody's remarks have sparked a wider discussion about the nature of paternal authority in plural families, where the lines of emotional allegiance are blurred by the simultaneous presence of multiple caregivers, and where the traditional hierarchies of admiration and respect are continually renegotiated in the public eye. In a way, his lamentation is a microcosm of the broader challenges facing the Brown family, a legacy of a system that once promised unity and reverence but has since been marred by disillusionment, legal battles, and a relentless public scrutiny that leaves little room for the simple, unadulterated expressions of love that he so desperately misses. Moreover, Cody's insistence on reclaiming the adoration of his children seems to be intertwined with his own struggles to maintain relevance and control within a family and a media landscape that increasingly value the contributions and independence of others over the old, centralized model of patriarchal leadership he once embodied. His reflections raise important questions about how personal identity and self-worth are constructed in environments where public validation is as crucial as private affection, and where the evolution of familial roles often leaves traditional figures grappling with feelings of obsolescence. For Cody, the gap between the adoration he craves and the more dispersed, less intense affection he now receives is not just a personal disappointment, it is a profound commentary on the transformation of the Brown family over the years, a transformation that has seen once clear lines of loyalty and reverence become muddled by conflict, change, and the inevitable passage of time. His poignant admission serves as both a cry for help and a subtle challenge to the established order, inviting both his family and his audience to reconsider what it truly means to be a father in an era when the expectations of love and respect are constantly shifting. As viewers continue to dissect his words and analyze the implications of his longing for past adoration, it becomes evident that Cody's struggle is emblematic of a deeper, more universal conflict, a tension between the desire for unyielding validation and the reality of a changing world where the roles of parents and children are in constant flux. In this light, His comments are not merely self-indulgent expressions of regret but are reflective of a broader cultural shift in which the ideals of paternal authority and familial devotion are being redefined in the context of modern, multifaceted relationships. For some, Cody's yearning may evoke a sense of nostalgia for a simpler time, while for others, it serves as a stark reminder of the cost of clinging to outdated notions of leadership in a family that, by necessity, must evolve to accommodate the diverse needs and aspirations of all its members. Ultimately, the story that unfolds on Sister Wives regarding Kody Brown's lament for the lost adoration of his children is a complex tapestry woven from threads of personal loss, evolving familial dynamics, and the relentless pressures of public life, a tapestry that invites viewers to reflect on the true meaning of love, the burdens of expectation, and the ways in which our need for validation can both uplift and undermine us in equal measure. Cody's sincere confession stands as a powerful testament to the enduring struggle between the idealized image of paternal adoration and the frequently harsh reality of modern family life. In this reality, the legacy of a patriarch is no longer measured solely by the capacity to adapt, to accept change, and ultimately, to find new sources of fulfillment and connection in a world that is as unpredictable as it is unforgiving. As the season progresses and the Brown family continues to navigate the choppy waters of change, in a revealing exploration of the Brown family's inner workings, the question of whether Kody and Robyn Brown are truly soulmates has become one of the most fiercely debated topics among Sister Wives fans and cultural commentators alike, and when one delves into their complex relationship, a tapestry woven from decades of shared experiences, tumultuous highs and lows, public confessions, and private battles, it becomes clear that the answer is anything but black and white. On one hand, there are moments captured on camera that seem to radiate a deep, almost magnetic connection between Kody and Robyn, moments when their eyes meet and there is an unspoken language of understanding forged through years of navigating the challenging landscape of plural marriage, legal disputes, and relentless media scrutiny, suggesting that their bond might indeed be rooted in an almost soulmate-like intensity that defies the conventional expectations of a traditional relationship, and it is precisely this intensity, manifested in tender gestures, passionate reconciliations after heated arguments, and even in the shared resilience in the face of external pressures, that has led many to believe that Kody and Robyn possess a rare emotional synergy that anchors their union despite all odds. People.com. Cody's penchant for dismissing the concerns of others in favor of asserting his own authority casts doubt on whether his need for adoration is truly an expression of unresolved personal insecurities that have, over time, undermined the more egalitarian ideals typically associated with being soulmates. However, critics argue that genuine soulmates inspire and elevate one another through mutual respect, empathy, and support, a dynamic that, according to some fans, is frequently compromised by Cody's tendency to use Yahoo.com. Moreover, the evolution of their relationship over the years, marked by Cody's controversial decisions that have led to the departures of his former wives and a reconfiguration of family roles, has introduced new challenges, as Robyn now finds herself not only tasked with managing the daily realities of a highly publicized family, but also with shouldering responsibilities that stretch beyond the emotional realm into the pragmatic necessities of financial management and legal obligations, all of which can sometimes overshadow the romantic elements that one might expect in a soulmate relationship, causing observers to question whether the bond they once celebrated is now more a product of circumstance and shared hardship than a true, unadulterated connection. People.com. While some fans point to the undeniable spark they share in moments of vulnerability, times when, despite the clashing personalities and the endless internal power struggles, they find solace in each other's arms and speak of a future built on shared dreams and the hope of transcending their troubled past, others remain skeptical, contending that Cody's repeated displays of narcissism indicate a relationship built more on dependency and the fear of abandonment than on genuine, mutual admiration. This is People.com. In reflecting on these issues, it becomes evident that the question of whether they are soulmates is less about a simple binary of true love versus false affection and more about the intricate process of defining what it means to be connected in an era where personal identity is in constant negotiation with public expectation, where the traditional markers of a soulmate relationship, such as unconditional support, shared vision, and emotional reciprocity, are often challenged by the pressures of modern life, legal complexities, and the unique dynamics of a plural family system. For Cody and Robyn, the journey toward understanding and possibly rekindling the kind of connection they once enjoyed is laden with challenges that extend beyond the realm of romantic idealism into the very practicalities of sustaining a partnership under the relentless gaze of the public and the unyielding demands of a family that is as multifarious as it is controversial. Ultimately, whether one believes that they are soulmates depends largely on the criteria used to define that bond. If soulmates are seen as two individuals who, despite their imperfections, continue to find meaning, comfort, and identity in one another through every hardship, then many fans argue that Cody and Robyn do indeed share a connection that transcends the everyday struggles of their public and private lives. However, if the definition of soulmates is grounded in the expectation of a consistently nurturing, balanced, and mutually elevating relationship, then the evidence of Cody's sometimes selfish behavior and the complex, often painful dynamics of their extended family might suggest that what they have is more a pragmatic partnership than the idealized romance that many would hope for, a distinction that continues to spark passionate debate among viewers and insiders alike, a debate that reflects not only the multifaceted nature of human relationships but also the unique, evolving challenges faced by those who live their lives in front of millions of cameras, where every smile, every frown, and every whispered word is subject to public interpretation and scrutiny. In the end, the question of whether Cody and Robyn Brown are soulmates remains as layered and complex as the family they navigate, a question that invites us to consider not only the nature of their personal connection but also the broader context in which it exists, a context defined by both the extraordinary pressures of reality, television, and the timeless, universal quest for love, validation, and a sense of belonging in a world where every relationship is as imperfect as it is beautiful, and where, ultimately, the truth of their bond may lie somewhere in the gray area between idealized romanticism and the hard, unyielding reality of life, a truth that each viewer must decide for themselves based on the multitude of moments, memories, and emotions that Sister Wives has so candidly laid bare.